Good afternoon. I'm by the names of Demaya Mansuk, a student of Uganda Technology and Management University, under the registration number SEP 18 BIST 006U. And I'll be taking you through two topics, that is marketing philosophies and the product life cycle. The company Toyota Motor Corporation, and these are the following marketing philosophies of Toyota Motor Corporation. One, the production philosophy. This concept works on an assumption that customers prefer a product which is inexpensive and widely available. This viewpoint was quoted in Say's law, which states, supply creates its own demand. Hence, Toyota company focuses on producing more of the vehicles and making sure that it's available to the customer everywhere easily. Secondly, the second philosophy is the product concept. This concept works on the assumption that customers prefer products of greater quality and price availability. Doesn't influence their purchase decisions. Hence, the company devotes most of its time in developing a product of greater quality, which usually turns out to be inexpensive. For example, production costs of the 2020 V8 Land Cruiser has turned out to be more expensive. Since the main focus of the marketeers is the product quality, they often lose or fail to appeal to customers whose demands are driven by other factors like price, availability, and usability. The third concept is the selling concept, which states that the production and product concept both focus on production, but selling concept focuses on the marketing, on actual sale of the product. Selling concept focuses on marketing every possible sale of the product, regardless of the quality of the product or the need of the customer. The main focus is to make money. This philosophy, therefore, doesn't include building relations with customers. Hence, repeated sales are very less. Companies following this concept may even try to deceive the customers to make them buy their product. For example, this so applies to Toyota Manufacturing Company, where it produces thousands of cars every month, and their great target is Africa, Asia, and maybe Europe and America. The fourth philosophy will be the marketing concept, which says selling concept cannot let a company last long in the market. Therefore, it's a customer's market after all. To succeed in the 21st century, one has to produce a product to fulfill the needs of their customers. Hence, emerged the marketing concept. This concept works on an assumption that the customers buy products which fulfill their needs. Businesses following the marketing concept conduct researches to know about customers' needs and wants and come out with products to fulfill the same better than the competitors. By doing so, the business establishes a relationship with the customer and generate profits in the long run. For example, most Toyota enthusiasts look at the comfortability and durability of the vehicles. Other customers look at the price and so on. And we look at the final marketing philosophy, which is the societal marketing concept, which states that adding to the marketing concept, this philosophy focuses on society's well-being as well. The business focuses on how to fulfill the needs of the customers without affecting environment, natural resources, and focuses on society's well-being. This philosophy believes that business is a part of the society, hence should take part in the social services like elimination of poverty, illiteracy, and controlling explosive population growth. For example, Toyota Manufacturing Company has carried out a literacy campaign in Africa by building and even funding the brilliant student scholarships. I'll also be taking you through the second number, which says that using examples, comment about the product life cycle in the above infographic. To get to know about product life cycle describes the life of a product in the market with respect to business or commercial costs and sales measures. And these stages include introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. To not waste time, let's go to the introduction stage, which says this stage is characterized by a low growth rate of sales as the product is newly launched and customers may not know much about it. And traditionally, a company usually incurs losses rather than profits during this phase. And it is characterized by high costs due to initial marketing, advertising, distribution, and so on. We then develop to the growth stage, which describes that during this growth stage, the public becomes more aware of the product as sales and revenues start to increase profits. With this stage, we see characteristics like um, low things, reduction of prices like costs are reduced due to economies of scale as production and distribution are ramped up. Economies of scale kick in, reduce to reduce the per unit costs, and then we then develop to the maturity stage. And this stage, we see that during the maturity stage, sales will peak as the product reaches market saturation and competition will grow increasingly fierce. The characteristics are we see improving specific features in order to resell the product. For instance, in the case of a car, the manufacturer may include alloy wheels, new colors, sports, hybrid versions, or other changes in order to keep sales going, lowering prices in order to fight off competition, intensifying distribution, such and such. And finally, we go to the decline stage. And during the decline, sales growth becomes negative, profits decline, competition remains high, and the product ultimately reaches its death. What do we see as its characteristics? The characteristics are we see a decline in sales volume as competition becomes very severe, popularity of the product falls, and account optimal cost. We have to evolve from this stage, and we see that maybe we have to recover and what decisions we take during each stage. And the question goes, as a marketing manager, explain what decisions you will take at each stage of the product life cycle. Decisions that will be taken during each stage of the product life cycle. In the introduction stage, we all remember that the product is new to the market and has focus on marketing and advertising extensively. So the decision that we take there, we go with advertising. We have to advertise the product. For example, I bring in sausages to a new market like Otamu. We bring in sausages, we advertise it, how good it is, how nutritious. And from there, why are we advertising? We need to capture market in Otamu. We then evolve to the growth stage. Here we see that in the growth stage, the market knows about the product and the sales begin to rise. As sales begin to rise, we need to reduce the prices so that we get so many customers. Therefore, after our growth, after we get to the growth stage, we have to evolve to the maturity stage. where we see that the distribution channels are saturated with the product. Therefore, we have established grounds, farm grounds, that we have gotten customers, we have gotten clients. And what do? You as a marketing manager, you have to add value, add new features to the current product. For example, improving the specifications on a smartphone. Now, let me give you this example of Techno phones. Previously, there was Techno Camon 11, and then they have now brought Techno Camon 12. They have improved on features like camera, RAM, and so on. And then we go to the final stage, that is the decline stage. Eventually, the product sales fall off under the impact of new product competition. You as a marketing manager, what will you do? If I was a marketing manager, I would explore a new market, selling the product into new geographical areas or creating a version targeted at different segments, and also new introduction of new packaging formats. So this therefore will solve my problem of the decline. Thank you again. My name is Demaya.